Dave Ramsey touts that having a credit score is really just having an I love debt score, and that debt is always dumb. This American finance businessman claims that everyone should have a credit score of 0. But is Dave's black and white thinking really what's best for everyone? Or is the man who's worth over $200 million so out of touch with the reality of being poor that he doesn't understand how having no credit score can actually harm the people who need financial help the most? A credit score is designed to represent your credit risk, or just the likelihood that you will pay your bills on time. Whether we like it or not, your credit score can impact not just your ability to get a loan or the interest rate on those loans, but it can also affect where you rent, how much a deposit you need to put down when opening critical accounts like utilities, your car insurance premium, and even what jobs you can get. Being in debt and paying interest on those debts can ruin your financial goals and cause you to live a life of stress. But does having a high credit score automatically mean you're in debt and not meeting your financial goals? No, it absolutely does not. You can have a high credit score and not be in debt. You can pay your bills on time. You can have credit cards that you pay off each month. You can have a mortgage that builds your credit. Having a credit score should not be some evil that needs to be avoided at all costs, but rather a tool that you can use to pull yourself up out of poverty and help you build wealth. By suggesting that people not have a credit score, Dave is putting people at risk, especially people living in poverty or that have other disparities. He does not understand what it is truly like to financially struggle without a safety net. Even when he did lose all of his money and had to file for bankruptcy, he still had advantages that a lot of people will never have. He doesn't understand the barriers that some people face when they're trying to dig themselves out of poverty, and this inexperience with low income living and disadvantage shows in the advice that he gives. His advice can be harmful to so many of us and can actually prevent us from building wealth quickly and can put us in horrible situations that make life much more difficult. His black and white thinking and advice leads people to believe that his way is the only way. I wish I would have known the harmful effects that not having a credit score can have when I was in my early 20s and started following the Dave Ramsey plan. I am so glad I ended up not following all of his advice, because not following his advice is the reason I was able to pull myself out of poverty and buy a house with cash at 35. Bottom line, it is extremely dangerous to not have a credit score unless you're a multimillionaire who can pay cash for everything. Your credit score truly does matter, and by not having one, you are limiting your opportunities. Of course, the ideal situation is to not have to get a loan for anything and to just be able to pay cash, because then you can avoid all interest. However, that is not the reality for most people, and most people are going to need to get a loan in order to make big purchases, like your home or your car. Having certain loans can help you to get ahead faster than if you were just saving up and paying cash and having to wait to make those purchases. For example, a car is a requirement that many people need in order to get to work. And not being able to get a loan for a car, even a cheap car, can prevent them from going to work and ever getting ahead. Having a reliable car with low gas mileage may enable you to have a better job and earn more money. Purchasing a home can allow you to begin building wealth through appreciation. I bought a home in my early 20s making just $22,000 a year, and in just 10 years I was able to profit $150,000 just by owning that house and doing some renovations to the house. So for 10 years I had somewhere to live for my children and I was also profiting $15,000 a year in appreciation. Without a good credit score and access to a good mortgage loan, this would not have been possible. But your credit score doesn't just affect your ability to get loans, it also affects a lot of other aspects of your life. If you want to rent, most landlords are going to require a credit check. Without a credit score, you're limiting your options of where you're able to live and also the amount of a security deposit that you have to put down. A lot of landlords require a higher security deposit when you have a lower to no credit score. If you're somebody who is already struggling, this could literally leave you homeless or too far away from a really good job that makes commuting inefficient. When you are applying for jobs, some employers will require credit checks. This can leave you with fewer job opportunities. When you apply for car insurance, your rate is based off of your credit score. This could leave you with higher monthly premiums. When I moved and I needed to turn on utilities to my new house, the utility company ran a credit check to determine how much of a deposit I needed to put down in order to turn on my utilities. For families who are struggling, this may mean that you have to go without utilities until you can save up enough money to have them turned on. Without a credit score, you're going to end up paying extra for a lot of different things, which is going to add up and will be especially harmful to people who are financially struggling. A credit score might not be necessary if you are very wealthy or have the resources to be able to pay cash for everything. But most people are not in that position. For most people, having a good credit score is going to make their life significantly easier and will save them a lot of money. They will have access to better places to rent, better jobs, lower deposits, better interest rates, access to loans they might otherwise not be able to get. It is very irresponsible and privileged for Dave Ramsey to tell people that a credit score just isn't important and is dumb. Dave says that the only acceptable loan is a mortgage loan. So let's look at a real life example of what a credit score does when you are applying for a mortgage. When buying a home, your credit score impacts what kind of loan you're able to get and the interest rate, or if you're even able to get a loan at all. Without a credit score or with a bad credit score, you are going to be paying more interest and end up paying more for your home in the long run. For example, let's look at the current interest rates for April of 2023. Let's say you're wanting to purchase a home and are getting a loan for $200,000. If you have a credit score of between 620 and 639, your interest rate would be 7.7% versus an interest rate of 5.9% with a score between 760 and 850. With those different interest rates, with the lower score, you would be paying $513,332 for the life of the loan versus just $427.60 with the higher credit score. That is a difference of $86,272. So having a high credit score would save over $86,000 over the life of the loan. That is a significant savings. Another time it's important to have good credit is in an emergency. Sometimes emergency happens and the amount of money that you have in savings is not going to cover it. Maybe your car breaks and it cannot be fixed and you find yourself needing a new car immediately. With good credit, you have the ability to find a reliable car very quickly. Instead of having to filter through the cheapest options, trying to find the best of the worst that may not actually be very reliable. Having the ability to find a quality car quickly is going to not only save you a lot of stress, but could save you thousands in repair costs and time missed off work. Having a good credit score is not dumb and can be the tool that you use to pull yourself out of poverty. With a good credit score, you have created new opportunities for yourself and have created your own safety net just in case you need it. With all the money that you save, you can make progress towards important financial goals, such as boosting your emergency fund, getting out of debt faster, investing in a home, or saving for retirement. If you found this video interesting, you should check out this video next. Let me know what you guys think about having a good credit score. Is having a high credit score important to you, or do you think it's better to have no credit score at all? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.